So let me just get right into this for you, and you can see what I have inside of this bag, and I'll tell you why I have them. I'll start with the way I pack the bag. Let me tell you that. The way I pack the bag is what I might face first. It could be in the cold weather. The first thing that I want to know is everybody okay in the vehicle? Did something happen? Did a branch breach the windshield? Did somebody get impaled with something? Are they bleeding profusely? Do I have to use the bleed bag? So that's the first thing that I'm looking for, is kind of triaging what's going on inside the vehicle. Okay, and I put my bleed bag right at the top. It's one of the top things that I have right in the top of this bag. I'll show you some of the other things here as I get to them, but the bleed bag is right here on top. That's the first thing. Boom. And make sure that I've got a bleed bag. Next thing that I have up for me is something to keep me warm. All right. I have got this Bivy by Atomic Bear. This is one of the better ones on the market. This also happens to be in a bag that has a whistle on it. But this, I think this is 25 mils thick. And it's 86 inches long, 31 inches wide, so I'm 5'9". I fit comfortably into this, and it will keep you warm. But you can't just have this if your car is not running. If your car is disabled, now you've got to worry about hypothermia. Are you going to die from the cold temperatures? Your core body temperature has got to be kept up. So I've got this here to help with the temperature. I also carry a merino wool gaiter, hooded gaiter. I have just a regular shemagh, and shemagh, I can do many things with this. I can wrap it around my head a couple times. I can make a muff for my hands if I need to, a sling if necessary. A lot of different things you can do with a shemagh. I also have a orange bandana. Orange bandanas should be something that's in your vehicle at all times if you have any type of accident, but especially if what I'm talking about here, where you've went off the road and you got to stay. You open this up and put it in your window. It is an international distress signal for you there, but there are hundreds of things that you can do with a bandana, but that is what I would do, is I would put that outside my driver's window, put it in such a place where people can see it blowing in the wind. All right. Next thing that I would say that I want to show you to keep warm. Just going to open this up all the way here. I've got with me an Outdoor Vitals underquilt, or no, this is an overquilt, and it is a 45-degree synthetic. I like synthetic because of the fact that it'll keep you warm even if it gets wet. But if you will put that bivy bag, put yourself in the bivy bag and then put this over you, you're going to stay very warm, probably down to about 0 degrees without any other help. Okay? But for me, there might be a situation where I need more warmth. And for that, what I carry is a small little heater that my grandfather taught me how to use a long time ago. All this is a bean can. But with this bean can, I happen to put my duct tape in there, is a emergency candle from Wood Tramp Gear. This is 100% beeswax. And what I do is I will put the lid down first, and then I put the candle down right inside of there, and then I'll use a cigar lighter to light this. That is a 10 to 12 hour candle, depending how many of those 3 wicks that you light. And by putting that lid on there and then the candle on top of that, the bottom of it does not get hot, but this can will get very, very warm. It will emit heat for 10 hours. All you have to do is crack maybe your back window just a little bit to let those emissions out. It's a beeswax candle, so it's not a dirty candle at all. but that will keep you warm inside that vehicle as long as you keep the windows up and just that little bit of crack to get the garbage out for you. So that is keeping me warm. The next thing that you're going to have to consider is being able to be hydrated during that time, and I always carry 2 bottles of water in this bag. They're just small pints, you know, but if we're talking me having to wait 10 to 12 hours, I can get by with this. I really can. And if something happens to where it looks like it's going to be longer, I make sure that I also carry my hydration kit, which is just really got a jumbo Ziploc bag that has the Sawyer Mini in it and a Sawyer squeeze system. I also carry some Aquamira tablets to be able to purify water if I have to, and that will lead me to this. If you have, oh, by the way, I do carry gloves with me everywhere I go. And also in my truck is a pair of Arctic gloves just in case it gets really, really cold. So if I'm in the vehicle, this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to stick strictly to what I'm showing you right here. I do have a little bit of food stash to go with me. There's a couple things of hot chocolate in here, raisins, some Parmesan chips. I don't need much to be able to last me for 10 to 12 hours. But if something comes up where you have to exit the vehicle, if it is, you know, if it's caught on fire, if it is partially submerged in water, you're going to have to be able to get out and build yourself a small shelter, awaiting the first responders to come to you. And what I do for that is I pack this Filled Craft Poncho by Kelty. In my opinion, if you've never seen this, go out and check out some videos on YouTube. We're going to shoot a video of this spring. We've been working with this for over a year. And we are convinced this is the absolute best poncho out there. It gives you a variety of deployments. You can even use it as a leader. It has its own lanyards. It has its own straps with it. It has everything that you would ever need for a hammock, just whatever. But it builds a great shelter also. And I would build a plow point shelter out of this for a shelter. And to help with that, I always carry cordage. This is 550 paracord. I keep a hank of orange. I keep a pre-made ridge line with a bowline on one end, 4 prussics in the middle of it for different purposes, and just use a marlin spike hitch on the other side. I also carry bank line with me. That's about 30 feet of bank line. Always carry duct tape with me just in case. The tried and true 55-gallon heavy-duty garbage bags, I carry those. I carry 2 of them with me. You can put browse in them to put a little distance between you and the frozen cold ground. If it looks like you're going to be out there longer than that, you can build you 2 small tripods, and with 2 poles you can create a sleep system with this off of the ground, suspended, and those bags will hold you. They really will. I weigh 205 pounds. I'm 5'9". I've done this on a couple occasions. I should put a video out there. I haven't done it. But with the garbage bags, you see this white, those are paper towels that I just happen to fold up and put on here because it takes no space for those, and I can use them as a fire starter. I can use them, you know, to wipe my hands, blow my nose, whatever I need to do. I've got the paper towels with the garbage bags, okay? Also in here, it takes me to the next thing that we're going to talk about here. I've got several cutting tools that I keep with me just in case. I always have a Leatherman's tool. This is the Leatherman's Wave. This has been around the world with me many times. And because of the fact that, you know, I want to be prepared for, you know, something that might happen in regards to having to build shelter, gather firewood, process some firewood. I also carry this small camp axe in this particular bag here. This is by Condor. They came out with this just last year. We've been testing it, and you know, I like it. It's great for this. So that's the second cutting tool that I have. And then on the top side of this bag, you will also find my main cutting tool that goes in this bag, which is an LT Wright Genesis, this is a Genesis Scandi is what it is. Matter of fact, this was the 2018 Knife of the Year. Beautiful knife. But it does a great job. So that is another cutting tool that I have. So I'm good on that. You know, there's a redundancy of a lot of things that you'll see here. I believe in being redundant. Another little piece that I put in here is a small steel ring. Go to the garage sale, auctions, or whatever, they practically give these away, but the applications for this is unlimited. My main thing that I do with these is I use these for my tripods. I cut me 6 pole or 3 poles, slip this over the top, open it up, put paracord on it. Now I've got a place to hang a pot or whatever else I might be doing, but I can actually build a tripod quickly with this. I have other applications also. Because of the fact that I carry cutting tools, I'm also going to carry a small field sharpener. This one happens to be by Work Sharp. It's really a nice one. It's got 2 diamond plates on it, ceramic rod, and it also has a leather strap on the back that I've impregnated. You can do hooks with this. You can do serrated knives with it. A lot of things. All right. Then, of course, if you're going to be outside, there's a couple things that you need to have with you. I would say the fire kit is going to be paramount. And with me, again, redundancy is the key here. I've got a regular Bic lighter and an Exotec fire sleeve that keeps it waterproof. I've got a cigar lighter that happens to be my favorite go-to lighter when I'm out in the bush. And the reason is, I've told you this before, unlike the Bic lighter when you hold it upside down and the flame licks up your hand, when you point this down, it is going to go straight down and will never burn your hands. I do have a little bit of cotton in here. I have fat wood in here. I have from Wood Tramp Gear some of the Wood Tramp Gear fire cake. And I tell you what, folks, not enough can be said about this. A small piece of this the size of your thumbnail can burn for almost 5 minutes while you're starting a fire. It's works in the rain. It's good stuff. I keep a little bit of jute with me. Also from Wood Tramp Gear, I keep bush butter in my fire kit because it can help as an accelerant. And this is a little paddock wood here. And I also carry a magnifying lens for solar ignition. So, you know, that is a pretty full fire kit that you could put together very, very easily. Keep it together with rubber bands, and on the back I have a couple sail needles that I can use as well. Of course, if I'm gonna be out, I'm gonna make sure that I have a compass. This happens to be the Kaminga. There's other better options out there than the Kaminga. It's just the one that I learned to use as a Boy Scout and in the Marine Corps, and so I'm comfortable with this. But there are many other ones better than this one. With that fire kit, by the way, I always carry a larger ferro rod. This also comes from Wood Tramp Gear, deer antler. But there's also a ferro rod on my LT Wright knife there that I put in there. So I got all kinds of redundancy for that. Then also, let me see here. Let's talk about if you're out and you've got to gather water that you don't trust. You can get it with the Sawyer Mini, and then this is the Silverfire Scout bush stove. There's none better out there, folks. We've seen many, probably 25 different companies have submitted stoves to us. Todd Albia, Silver Scout, or Silver Fire rather, put this together based upon his knowledge of what it takes to survive. He's an ex-frog man. Superb. You see how small it is, very small footprint. I could build a fire, do the hot chocolate, or if I've got to cook something, it's right here. So that take care of the cooking portion. I can boil water with that. That'd be my container as well. And then the other little things I have here, illumination wise, let me see here. I think there's probably at least one more in here. What did I do with that guy? Got it around here somewhere. Well, for the sake of the video, I keep 2 flashlights in my bag. Usually a small tactical flashlight, which is around here somewhere, and of course a headlamp, for hands-free. Then just miscellaneous stuff. This is just a wood toggle with a bowline on one end, and I use it to be able to hang my gear up off of the ground if I'm around a stand of trees. Every one of my bag has one of these in there pre-made for me. And believe it or not, a Sharpie is very, very important. If you have to deploy your bleed kit, you got to take out a tourniquet, you must be able to mark yourself or the patient that you're dealing with the time stamp on there to let the first responders know how long that tourniquet has been on there. You can write notes with this. You can give instructions. I left here, I'm heading this direction. This is my bearing here, and I'm headed towards this area here. There's a lot of things that will help you out with this. And last but not least, on a personal level, I've got to wear some cheaters to be able to see some small things up close, reading or whatever. That's what this is for here. It folds down. And the pack, it's really nice. Does a great job. Has everything in it that I could ever want or could ever need. And the pack itself is from BattleBox. It's a tactical style pack, but it's not built like a tactical pack. It's not in that range. But it's not a bad pack. I trusted enough to put my gear in it, to put in my truck, and if I had to make the 30-mile journey back to my home from my place of work, then this could help get me there, as could this. If something goes bad out there with the storm or whatever and I'm waiting, it's important to have an e-bag. But let me say it again, not just wintertime. Every vehicle should have a seasonal e-bag in it, and your home should have an e-bag in it also that you can just grab, or right where it's at in case of a tornado or a flood, storm, whatever it might be. Be prepared for what might come your way. That's what this is all about, and it could save your life. I appreciate you watching the video. I hope that answered your questions for those that have been writing us about this. Give us a comment, send us an email, let us know what you have in your e-bag, what you think that we should. Maybe there's something more here than you think that we need. I'd like to have that interaction. In the meantime, hit that subscribe button down there, and when you do, you get entered into our monthly database for the giveaways. We give away knives, we give away a lot of wood tramp gear, just a lot of stuff, so it's to your advantage. And like us and share us. And man, that's about all I can give them right now. So appreciate you watching. Till next time, you all ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there.